to Goyang City, just outside Seoul in Korea, with myself, David Goldstrom, alongside me, Randy Strossen from High on Mind, looking forward to the first World Championship gold medal final of these 2009 games here in Korea. It's the men's 56 kilo competition, or 123.5 pounds, 8 3/4 stones, whichever way you like to count your money. And this is a competition of some class. The World Championship records may well be up for grabs here, because heading the list of 10 contenders tonight is no less than the Olympic champion from China, 18-year-old Long Jingchuan, and he's also supported by a teammate, Wu Jingbiao, who recently were pretty dominant in the national championships in China. Up against them we have the junior world champion, not only from this season but also from last season, the European silver medalist, also amongst tonight's finalists. Tonight, as it is here, Randy, 7 o'clock in the evening for this first championship. I know it's early morning back home in Europe, and a reasonable attendance in the hall for this final.
Absolutely. We're off to really a tremendous setting. Usually the year after the Olympics we expect maybe fairly muted performances. Not at all going to be the case, I don't think, tonight. Coming in, the Olympic gold medalist is coming off a best ever performance at the Chinese Nationals, and we've got pressure coming up on him from probably his teammate as well as possibly the lifter from Taipei.
Indeed, and a possibility also of seeing perhaps a lift of 3 times body weight, but we have to wait and see. But we're just about to get underway here. First man who's going to be on the stage is Masaharu Yamada from Japan. Pretty seasoned campaigner now, at 29 years of age. Weighed in at 59 kilos 92. Not quite the heaviest in the class, but he's up there. And coming in to take his first attempt at 105 kilos. So
some unusual pressure on him. This is first attempt in the class. Like to get on the board, and he's the opening act.
Yeah, and Yamada, well, he'd be an outsider for a medal. Posted an entry total of 261. He'd have to go a little bit better than that if he wanted to really contend, but 20 seconds left to get the bar moving.
Looked quite easy. Very low bottom position. Helps him get under the bar. Helps him block it out and fix it overhead while not having to pull it quite as high. Got to be a sigh of relief for him and his coach. He's on the board now.
Yeah, always nerves, Randy, isn't there, when you get the first lift to get everything in. But I thought that was pretty good. I mean, he's lifting well within his compass there at 105.
Right. Starting with his feet quite close together, not uncommon for the Japanese lifters. They go out as he pulls himself under the bar. That's to help him get his body lower. Now, watch how low he gets. His glutes are almost touching the platform in the bottom position. Nice lift.
And already out on the stage, this is Jose Montes Gongora, just 20 years of age. Weighed in at 55.99, so heavier than the Japanese lifter who just preceded him.
If you notice how much farther apart he started with his feet on this compared to the Japanese lifter before. Also, could not fix the bar overhead, did not pull it high enough, and the bar was out front, it looked like. Not what he wanted. He's got the added pressure now. One of his 3 attempts is gone and was not successful.
Yeah, we saw him earlier in the year at the Junior Worlds. Was only 5th in that competition, but at the age of 20, improvement can come quite quickly. But in comes the European silver medalist of this season. This is Vito Dellino from Italy. Represented his country last year in Beijing at the Olympic Games. Was outside the top 10 there, but he has been improving, Randy.
Yeah, showed a lot of confidence the way he walked over to chalk up. Bit on his coach after his lifts. Oh, nice lift. Kind of an interesting situation because the Italian team is coached by Georgi Gardev, the former top Bulgarian lifter, a ferociously good snatcher. So it looks like he's transferring some of those skills to his Italian athletes.
It could be a correction for Jose Lino Montes, Mexico.
출전 번호 4번 멕시코의 리노 몬테스 선수 2차 시기.
So it looks as if Jose Lino Montes Gogora coming out again for his second attempt.
Looks like he's psyching up. Eyes are closed.
Now really needs to make this is a weight that he's certainly managed plenty of times in training. Very different though when he come out onto the stage.
Absolutely, especially with one miss. High enough, just didn't fix it. You can hear the yells of Ariba, fast, I think that is. And that's the essence of this lift, it's speed.
Will be within the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, and the precision, absolutely crucial.
Yeah, very little margin of error, what we call fixing the bar overhead. It's got to be in the right spot or the bar's going to come back down. See, this is high enough. If he just could not quite fix it overhead, he could not lock it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
Not quite in the right position.
great variety.
Actually, from the front, could have been a tad higher.
In this category, we have from America,
So,
Asia.
2 mistakes, and of course that puts him under immediate pressure. He's got a couple of minutes because he's actually following himself now.
Right. Could be this worse maybe in a way. He's left alone with his thoughts now, and they've got to be really fairly grim at this point.
현재 56kg
One more chance to succeed here.
진행되고 있습니다. 총 10
If he misses, he can go on and still lift in the clean and jerk, but he'll be out of the race for the total.
The best of the best are joined here in the beautiful
Second
city
attempt was better than his first.
participating in the World Weightlifting Championship.
지금 경기가 펼쳐지고 있는 것은 2009 고양 세계 역도 선수권 대회가 열리고 있습니다.
And now for his third and last attempt at the snatch, Jose Lino Montes, Mexico.
출전할 선수 4번 멕시코의 호세 리노 몬테스 선수 3차 시기.
So everybody trying to boost him up here to.
Didn't stop to chalk up. Interesting. Went straight to the bar. Seemed to be walking out, I thought, maybe with a little bit more conviction than on his second attempt.
So
Close but no cigar.
We
No,
continue then.
and what that means is that
109
no chance to
kilos, please.
get a total. He can, of course, go on and try and get the clean and jerk,
준비해 주시기 바랍니다.
but a real disappointment.
109 kilos. Second attempt. Yamada Masaharu from Japan.
출전 번호 3번 일본의 야마다 마사하루 109kg 2차 시기.
Vito Dell'Inno, attenzione.
So onto the stage comes Mr. Yamada.
Second attempt, and this is showing the weight he selected, showing he has some confidence in the way the opener went. 109 kilos on the bar. Feet close together again at the start. Oh. Way over to his left side. Still nearly locked it out, I thought. Tried to save it, but it was too far gone.
109 kilos.
Yeah, just looking back through his
Second attempt.
recent
Italy.
competitive performances like the Olympic Games last year when he would have been tuned up there, 106 kilos in Beijing, and he's been in that sort of area, so going for 109 would suggest that things have been going, quite well for him.
In his opener, he must have felt good about his opener.
So Vito Delino
coming out for the same 109 kilos.
weighed in at 55 kilos, 79. Vito, 27 years of age.
Has an air of confidence about him. Up and over. He probably swung the bar is what caused that.
반전 결과 실패.
Still 109 kilos.
Yeah, we're talking about the
There's Gardev.
They are there.
talking about the Italian. Good spirit in the Italian camp. They're a really good little squad.
Yeah. Kind of an interesting balance of concentration and camaraderie, a little easygoing, chatting with them a little bit before the competition.
Yeah, just
Up
gets
and
away
over.
from him.
Yeah, a little bit up and over. Sometimes you swing the bar in the middle of the pole, it'll go back over your head. Bounce it off the thighs, for example.
So Yamada still stuck on 105 kilos. You can see that on the left there. That's his good lift. And now we're into third attempt. Failed the second attempt at this weight of 109. But this would be, just again looking through, this would just about be a PB for him in the snatch.
Yeah, and must have a feeling he can make this weight. He won't be taking it. Oh, yep. No doubt about that.
Yeah, that's a great correction.
Yeah, you can see he was still a little bit over to the left side. Nothing, of course, like the second attempt. Once again, very low bottom position that we saw on the first attempt, which makes him very efficient on this lift. He can lock the bar out without having to pull it as high because he can get his body so low under the bar. When we see in slow motion, watch his glutes. Look how close he almost touches the platform. He goes so low.
Gets the feet nicely and correctly in line to finish it off.
Has to hold the bar under control then for the referee signal. That's what he's doing this final stage of the lift. He's waiting for that down signal.
So can Vito Delino match that performance? Now, Yamada 55.92 and Delino 55.79. So if Delino was to do this early days, but he would go into the lead in the snatch phase by virtue of his slightly lighter body weight.
Right. Yep. Really just not quite high enough. Not enough steam on that.
We move on.
Yeah, and that leaves him on 105 kilos, which is a little bit disappointing when you consider that this year in the Europeans, back in April in Bucharest, 109. He did 109 in the Olympic Games. So I'm afraid that's a downer in terms of confidence.
Yeah. You know, if progress were always consistent and upward, everyone would be a world champion and world record holder. And there are little ups and downs and sideways trips on the great path.
New man entering the competition now, and this is Ruslan Makarov from Uzbekistan.
Looks fairly tall for the class from here.
114 kilos on the bar. Was top 10 in this year's Asian Championships.
Well, look at it.
This represents well, in fact, just looking at this is 12 kilos up on what he did there.
We're hearing cries, Turget, Turget, hold it.
That was a good lift.
3 white lights, a little rough about the edges, but gets the job done.
Strong guy.
Kilos, please.
Happy, you know, that all-important first attempt. He's got, you know, good momentum at this point. He's got the satisfaction of knowing he's on the board.
Will be the first attempt for the most experienced.
Has to adjust, so let's see his toes coming up. The bar is trying to go back behind his head, and he's saving it. And toes are coming up because he's rocking back so much trying to save the lift.
Actually did pretty well. When you look at it in slow motion, this could so easily have got away from him.
Right, and that puts a lifter in an at-risk position because if you hang on too long, if the bar is going overhead, that's when you can dislocate your arm at the elbow or break it at the elbow.
Yes!
So Sergio Alvarez, Pan American silver medalist this year. That was at 62 kilos, this is 56 kilos, and that was probably the best opening lift we've seen so far. I know it's early days, but...
Yeah. Interesting, he's got his knees wrapped, almost looking as if he's a power lifter.
15 kilos, Yang Qi from Chinese Taipei.
출전번호 10번 대만의 양친리 선수 115kg 1차 시기.
This is fairly early in the progression of the snatch, but this is a guy to watch tonight. Snatch isn't his best lift, but he could figure in the medals in the clean jerk and in the total, I think.
A man who just missed a medal at the Beijing Olympic Games, was fourth, missed out on the bronze by just 3 kilos.
The same lifter.
And two of the lifters who are ahead of him there are not lifting tonight.
It is more likely that he will increase this weight.
No, but the Olympic champion most certainly is.
Most certainly is, yes. Yeah.
116kg 2차 시기.
Yang Yi's been around for a while. He even lifted, I think, in the 97 Worlds.
There is a change to 117 kilos, please.
기구 무게를 다시 117kg으로
So Makarov coming out for second attempt at 117 kilos. So this is a 3 kilo increase for him.
Go for his second attempt.
출전번호 9번 우즈베키스탄의 루슬란 마카로프 2차 시기.
Well, here's another perfect example of a man in his early 20s making rapid progress.
Look at the quads on this guy. Look at his leg muscles. Typical of a weightlifter, a lot of development right over the knees.
Well, he's got it by 2 to 1. So this is interesting.
Kilos.
You need to have 2 white lights. 2 of the 3 referees have to declare it a good lift to have it passed. Let's see if we can spot the infraction.
출전번호 8번 인도네시아의 자디.
Shaking his head, which you don't want to do if you think it's a questionable lift. Might influence the referees, but whoa, what a save. Just about lost that lift backwards, but he managed to hang on.
From Indonesia.
Yeah, Setiadi from Indonesia. Again, another man who was involved in last year's Olympic final, 8th. Sorry, I should say actually 8th in Athens was his best result at Olympic level.
출전번호 6번 쿠바의
Setiadi with a 118.
Ladies and gentlemen, 119 kilos have been shifted now to Jadi Setiadi from Indonesia, but there is another change. The 119 kilos will go now to Ruslan Makarov from Uzbekistan.
출전번호 9번 우즈베키스탄의
Dr. Ayan, president of the International Weightlifting Federation, on this opening night of finals as it is here, as Ruslan Makarov comes out for his 3rd attempt. Well, this will be a really good sequence, Randy. Bit of fortune on his side, but 114, 117 now, 119 kilos. Well, as we often say, the first one you should be very confident of getting. The second one, you've done them many times. This one is where you push yourself.
Bit of a stretch lift, yeah. Couldn't quite fix it. Fix the right arm.
시기 실패입니다.
120
What the
kilos,
lifter is
please.
doing in the snatch is pulling the bar high and then racing back under it and trying to lock it out overhead. Has to be done in one motion to be passed. And you can see he does not quite fix his right arm.
2번
Yep, see the right arm buckling?
엘 마우이 선수 1차 시기.
It's good effort, but not quite. Coach has to share the disappointment.
Sergio Alvarez, be prepared. There's a change, 120 kilos. Second attempt for Sergio Alvarez. Yes,
So Sergio Alvarez, this man who
6번 쿠바의
earlier in the season was at 62 kilos, has come down, weighed in at 55.85. Representing Cuba, 30 years of age. So actually the oldest of the class.
Mentioned the knee wraps, the powerlifting style, not so commonly seen in weightlifting, although not tight the way a powerlifter would have his knees wrapped. Getting set, visualizing the lift probably, and then getting ready to explode. That was a good lift. That was pretty sweet.
good lift for Sergio.
Very precise. I don't know if you noticed the machine-like execution of that lift.
And takes him into first place there with still an attempt to come.
They're happy about that.
121 kilos, a second attempt for Yang Qingyi from Chinese Taipei.
출전번호 10번 대만의 양친리 선수 2차 시기.
As you may see, ladies and gentlemen, the competition is very tight. The athletes are very cautious in the selection of their lifts. And there is very little difference between one athlete and the other.
And bar going up a kilo for the second attempt now by Yang Qingyi from Taipei. And as you say, Randy, certainly a contender for a medal today.
Could be, yeah.
But looking at the totals, he posted an entry total of 270, whereas the Chinese lifters, Long Xingxuan, 290. So he's going to have to go some and then have a bit of luck on his side.
Right. Good lift. With his experience, though, his nerves are not going to be rattled, I don't think. So he'll deliver his best performance. Whether or not it'll prove to be enough to get a medal, we'll have to wait and see.
That was a 6 kilo increase he was trying there.
양친리 선수 3차 시기.
That's a very close attempt.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That lift is fully within his capability.
we are expected to see
There's not a lot of range for adjustment in the snatch. It's either in the correct spot pretty much or it's not once the bar's overhead.
Through the snatch and then the clean and jerk.
Margin for error is quite small.
Determine who the champion will be in this category at this World Weightlifting Championships in Goyang, South Korea, 2009.
Yang's concentrating, following himself. 121 kilos. Remember, this is a 56 kilo lifter, so this is not a large man, and this is a fairly large weight. Notice he's wearing a lifting belt, which is not so common in the snatch. Still, some lifters will wear them in the clean and jerk, but snatch is fairly unusual. Coming out quite purposefully. Remember, this man is a real veteran in weightlifting.
He's a bit of a nearly man as well, because you've seen him around for quite a long time. Apart from the fourth in the Olympic Games, he's fourth this year in the Asian Championships. And if you go back to the World Championships in 2002 in Warsaw, Randy, actually got a silver medal there.
He stays in competition because
well, often happens, doesn't it? You get one mistake and then you get the other one.
Yeah, you might overcompensate.
122 kilos, please.
Yeah,
See how high he really pulled this. You see the slow motion on this. No, this is not the start they wanted. He needed to get as much as he could in the snatch.
Sergio Alvarez, Cuba.
Now up and over, up and over. Not sure that was quite high enough. Would have been quite high enough anyway.
No, stop the clock because we have another athlete with 100.
It shows you how flexible weightlifter shoulders are, the way dislocated.
23kg으로 준비해 주시기 바랍니다.
123 kilos. First attempt. Khalil El Maoui from Tunisia.
출전번호 2번 튜니지아의 엘 마우이 선수 1차 시기.
Sorry, there is another change. As you see,
well, of course, Randy, the big thing is that the two major contenders in this, the two Chinese boys, yet to start their campaign.
Right. We'll see maybe a bit of battle of nerves, too. They're both starting at the same weight. They're in, at least right now, for the same starting weight.
Yeah, just looking at
125 kilos.
Yeah, 125. But this is Setiadi of Indonesia. 123 kilos for his second attempt.
A lot of fight. Nice little adjustment in the bottom position. Save that, and the man's happy for good reason. Most lifters probably would have lost the lift if the bar had been in that position. Starting to lose it behind. Probably see him rock a little bit in the bottom position, and he saved the lift.
Takes him into the lead, but just to emphasize that Long Qingshan and also Wu Jinbiao of China yet to start, and also Khalil El Maoui of Tunisia yet to start their campaigns here. So there's three men waiting backstage in the wings. And so good as this is, Setiadi's going to have to find a little bit more if he wants to perhaps contend for the snatch. But that was a good second attempt, and what was really nice, Randy, was to see the fight in him.
Absolutely, and then the celebration, the sense of accomplishment for having saved that lift. But truthfully, I mean, what you said, David, is really the case. Basically, it's a good opening act. He's setting the stage for the big guns that are going to roll out here fairly soon.
And he's in the lead at the moment. 123, Sergio Alvarez, who's got his third attempt to come on 120. And now onto the stage about to come, the Olympic champion. Randy's going to take a little trip down to stage side there to get a different view. He'll bring us that perspective a little later. But 125 kilos on the bar for the opening attempt of the 18-year-old Olympic champion from China. This is Long Qingchuan. Comes from Hunan in the central southern part of China, and has put up some pretty notable performances. Comes here on the back of winning the national championships on the 23rd of October with an impressive total of 302 kilos. So 125 here for starters. This for the lead. And very comfortable, very much in his range. at the Nationals, snatched 133 kilos, 169 for 302. And just to put that in perspective, of course, the total world record set and held by Halil Mutlu of Turkey back in the Olympic Games of 2000 in Sydney, 305 kilos. Really strong drive up. Explosive, fast, precise. Really good execution, and this is the man they've all got to beat. So, Tunisia now. And this is Khalil El Mawi, 21 years of age, 125 kilos on the bar. Heavier, though, than the Chinese lifter who just preceded him, so this would be second place. Good explosive speed again, well managed. And 3 white lights. It's a good start there.
125 kilos will also be the first.
Khalil, who failed to get a total at the Olympic Games in Beijing, was very good in the first phase, actually snatched 126 kilos, but then ran into trouble in the clean and jerk. And just a little uncertain, but corrected well. And onto the stage now, the second of the 2 Chinese contenders. This is the junior world champion, Wu Jinbiao. And he goes for 125 kilos as well. And Wu, who weighed in exactly on 56 kilos, so that puts him into the bronze medal position in this first phase. Of course, World Championships, medals available for the snatch, the clean and jerk, and the total. So it's China, Tunisia, China. And next out is going to be the Pan American silver medalist, Sergio Alvarez. Here he is. And Alvarez. 55.85. So this would put him into bronze, but it is his last attempt in this first half of the competition, the first phase. Didn't quite get it there. The hips were behind.
We continue then with 100.
And it leaves him on 120 kilos, so disappointing really that he couldn't get that. Certainly managed 125 kilos as a 62 kilo lifter. Here you can see it.
We will take just a brief moment to clean the platform. Make sure the conditions
Can't
for
complete.
each and every athlete is the same. There has been an increase in the weight.
So the bar now going up to 128 kilos for the Tunisian lifter, Khalil El Mawi. Only 21 years of age. There's the Olympic champion on the left there in your picture. Very cool. The snatch world record at senior level, 138 kilos. That belongs to Halil Mutlu, set in Antalya in the World Championships of 2001. Of course, the next time the World Championships go to Turkey are, in fact, next year, back to Antalya. 128 kilos here for this second attempt. So good to see the fans Best part of 30 seconds. So plenty of time. Locks on. That's a pity.
No lift.
It's 2 kilos above the weight that he lifted in